What's going on, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here, bringing you this week's episode of What's WNTW. We're now into November. It's cooling off, so fishing should be picking up wherever you're at in the country. Obviously, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We got some new swim baits, got some new reels, we got some hot deals on some graphs we're going to talk about later. Let's jump right into it with the first swim bait we got from Daiwa Burrito Swimbait. So this Burrito Shad swim bait, awesome new swim bait. It's designed by Gail Ratcliffe. So this bait's been out for a long time. And previously, Gail's only been able to produce small batches of this swim bait throughout the year. So you kind of had to wait and hopefully get your hands on one when they go on sale. And some guys, would wait 6 months, a year to get one of these things. So now he's teamed up with Mike Bucca of Bull Shad Swim Baits. So they've teamed up so they can increase the production, but keep the quality the same and make sure everything's just right. So now you can get these at tacklewarehouse.com. You're not gonna have to wait a year and wait for the drop and pick the thing up and hopefully get your hands on one. It's an awesome swim bait. It's named after Lake Baccarat down in Mexico. This thing's been catching giant bass for years. It's an awesome shad profile swim bait. As you can see, it's got a really tall profile, but when you hold it, vertically, it's pretty narrow. It's got that big boot tail on there. So it gets pretty aggressive kicking action and it gets a lot of body roll. Got a premium top hook on there. They've got a bunch of cool colors. This one right here is called Unicorn Poop. Make sure you check them all out and get your hands on them while you can here. All right, next up, we've got a bunch of terminal stuff from Decoy. If you've never heard of Decoy, they're a small company out of Japan and they make some really, really cool stuff. Some stuff that's kind of sneaky and then not on a lot of people's radar, and a lot of stuff that a lot of other terminal companies don't make. This first one is their new sliding weight. So this is specifically designed for free rigging. So if you're not familiar with free rigging, it's similar to like a Texas rig, but instead of a bullet weight, you're using a free sliding drop shot style sinker. And what they've done with this one is they've added some small rubber inserts to the eyelet. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna eliminate any kind of line fray issues you would have with like using cheaper weights that have cheaper eyelets on them that might damage your fluorocarbon line. It's also got a swivel built in, so you're not gonna have any line twist issues. And then it's got this teardrop but hexagonal shape, and what that's gonna do is when it hits the bottom and stick, it's gonna hit the bottom and stick, and it's not gonna tumble and roll down the side of the bank if you're fishing real steep banks. So if you're into free rigging and you need a weight specifically for that, Decoy's got you covered on that one. This next one that I'm super pumped about is their new tail chaser trailer hook. So it's a dressed trailer hook. It's got these fibers on it, so it catches a lot of light and reflects and gets a lot of flash when you're adding it to your presentation. So we all know trailer hooks are gonna increase your hookup ratio on spinner baits, buzz baits, even chatter baits and things like that. This is gonna add that little bit of flash and just change up your presentation a little bit. I think it's really gonna come into play in those times where maybe sometimes on a spinner bait when you're using like a soft plastic trailer, but you wanna reel it really fast. Sometimes when you're fishing a spinner bait, they really eat it better when you have a soft plastic trailer on there. But depending on the type of trailer, you can't always add a trailer hook to it. And also that adds a lot of drag and kind of slows down your spinner bait. This, I feel like it's gonna hang back there, and if you're burning a spinner bait, you're gonna be able to reel it really quickly, and it's not gonna have any of that drag like a soft plastic would add to a spinner bait. And you're still gonna get kind of that flashing tail wiggling action when you really get the blades turning, and that thing back there is gonna add a little bit of flash and tail movement to your spinner bait. Just something cool, something different, throw it in the terminal box. The next one we got here is their new worm holder spring. So this is a spring for doing a couple different things. One, you can screw this into the front of like a soft plastic jerk bait and then use a small finesse hook and kind of nose hook a soft jerk bait instead of using like an EWG style hook. I know Matt and Tim from Tactical Bassin do that a lot, big proponents of that technique. Another thing you can do is actually put this worm holder through the middle of a stick bait vertically and use it for a holder for your wacky rig. So you screw it all the way through, you can trim off the excess once you get down there, and then you have that little eyelet to rig your wacky rig hook through. And that spring's gonna just hold on to your soft plastic a little bit better, and it's not gonna tear up plastics as much as you would get with some of the O-rings that are out there. So this is a medium. We got them in a couple sizes. Just, again, something different you can put in your terminal box and do a bunch of different things with. The next one is this new back switcher hook. So it's a small EWG hook, but it's got this weight way back down here towards the bottom of the shank. And this is specifically set up for fishing those back sliding soft plastics like the fat Ica. So If you've ever fished the Fat Ica, if you rig it reverse and you get it to slide away from you, this hook is gonna increase the potential of that action. So if you already fished some of those backsliding plastics and you really want to get them to slide even farther, this hook is gonna do it for you. Super cool design. You can fish docks or like overhanging brush, things that you can't skip, but you want to slide a plastic underneath it. That's going to be the hook to do it with because of the way that it's weighted. It gets those baits to slide a lot farther than it would be just rigging it weightless on a plain hook. So some of those places where you can't get baits or you just want to access it even farther, get a little bit different presentation. Instead of just a straight vertical fall, you're going to kind of get that diagonal presentation as it falls away from you. Something cool, something different. The next one we got here, we got the new Worm 108 wacky hook. So this is a little bit lighter version of a wacky rig hook that we already carry from Decoy. So finer wire, so you can really use those 4, 6, 7 pound test lines if you want, and you're not gonna have any problem with hook penetration, even with that really light line. So just a smaller, finer wire. It's got the small weed guard on there, so you can fish around some sparse cover, you know, nothing too crazy heavy. But if you need to remove it, you can just cut it, just simply trim it off. It's just that kind of fiber jig weed guard kind of material. Just a really nice wacky hook for doing wacky rigs and Nico rigs. The last one is their new Zero Dan heavy hook. So this is kind of their take on the Tokyo rig style jig or the Jika rig. A lot of guys are doing that these days. It's got that same shaped weight as the sliding weight with that hexagonal shape. Kind of has a teardrop shape to it, so you punch through cover really easy. And again, it's just gonna stick on the bottom and keep your presentation elevated up off the bottom. So doesn't dig your plastic into the mud or the silt as bad as you would with like a Texas rig. These are phenomenal ways to fish soft plastics. You can fish them around brush, you can throw them in rocks, you can throw them out deep on ledges, you can do just about anything. Just another cool way to present soft plastics. All right, got another one from Deps. So we got a new Deps Buzzbait. So right out the gate, if you know if it's from Deps, you know it's premium components. Everything is built with top quality hardware, and it's just an awesome bait. So this new Deps Buzzbait built on a really stout wire. So you're gonna be able to throw this thing 65 pound braid through heavy cover across laydowns, have no problem hooking fish and getting them out of cover. What's cool about this Buzzbait, it's got this large blade on here and it has this custom rivet. So they're getting increased surface area between the 2 contact points right there. So with that larger rivet and the larger part of the blade that goes through the shaft there, you're gonna get a much louder squeaking noise. Another thing they add in the package are these stick-on weights. And what these are made to do is to stick them onto the blade, and that's gonna give you a louder, more powerful buzzing action. So you can run it like it is just out of the package. You can bend it to where the wire clicks, the blade clicks the wire. You can bend it out and have no clack if you want it that way. But kind of giving you the freedom to kind of adjust the amount of buzzing action you want. So you can get more aggressive with it with the weight, stick them on there, take them off, get a more subtle action. Down here on the head, they got a lot of the weight pushed down to the bottom. So you get a lot better castability with this Buzzbait, and then you got a 4-aught Japanese straight shank hook on there, so you get really good hookup ratio. Again, just an awesome Buzzbait. You know, if it's from Deps, they've spent years and years testing and developing this thing. It's an awesome new Buzzbait. All right, we got a couple reintroductions. So from Netbait. So Netbait is reintroducing their bee-bug creature bait and their lizard. I think we haven't carried these in about 4 or 5 years, so we're stoked to finally get them back in stock. Just 2 soft plastics everyone needs to have in their tackle box. Beaver style bait. You can do about 1 million different things with these. You can flip them, punch them, jig trailer, shaky head, whatever you want. Carolina rig, you can do anything with a beaver style bait. And they got a bunch of awesome new colors from Netbait. Next one, another super versatile bait, the lizard. I love 6-inch lizards. I fish them all the time, and I feel like a lot of people don't fish them that much anymore. And I believe Netbait has got us 15 new colors, so a bunch of great colors. This Kentucky special one, super cool, kind of green pumpkin, and like a little bit of like a June bug plum on the bottom, super cool. The next one we got is a new introduction from Netbait, is their new twin-tailed trailer. So twin-tail grub style bait. These again are great this time of the year, fall, winter time, especially on a football jig, and you want that small, compact profile, but you still want to have some nice kicking action, not too aggressive, kind of in between, like the big like cross style and then the beaver style. These are great trailers. I fish a ton of these in the fall and the winter time. definitely gonna wanna load up on those for jig fishing this winter. All right, from Madness Japan, we got a couple new colors in the Belom series. So we have the Belom 245 and the Belom 300. And these are one of those swim baits that guys go nuts for, and you know, the swim bait anglers are always trying to get their hands on these. They're hard to get, and this is one of those deals that if you're interested in getting one of these baits, you want to snag them while you can. We got a few in stock and a few different colors in each, and once these are gone, we don't know when we're going to be getting more. So if you've been looking for one of these, definitely want to snag one. If you've never checked these swim baits out, they're really cool. They have this 4-jointed design, so you can burn these baits super fast. That's kind of where they excel, is fishing them at really high speeds. You don't have any problems with them blowing out. And then a lot of anglers are even doing figure eights like you would do with the musky lure at the boat. When those fish come up chasing it or following it, you can figure eight these and get them to strike. Just a really cool swim bait. They're super hard to get. So we got a few colors of them, so get them while you can. All right, next up, we got a couple new spinning reels from Daiwa. The first one is the new Daiwa Eliminator. So right out of the gate, just an awesome looking reel. It's got that flat back finish to it. So all aluminum body, aluminum frame, so it's a rock solid reel. With that anodized finish on the outside, it's actually scratch resistant and corrosion resistant. So you can do anything from fishing saltwater, you can go crappie, catfish with it, whatever you want. And for $100, it's really hard to beat. It's got the air rotor system, digi gear, so you got a lot of power with it. Like I said, just a phenomenal reel for $100. The next one is the new Daiwa Saltus MQ. So this reel actually won the Best of Show saltwater reel for ICAST 2021. And this is just an awesome reel, black and blue, phenomenal finish on it. And the MQ stands for monocoque body. So it's a one-piece monocoque body, and it's got a one-piece side plate that's sealed and stamped into the body. So you don't have any screws or anything that's holding that side plate in. So you're not gonna have any water intrusion or anything like that that's gonna get into that reel. And then with the monocoque body, you have a smaller body, but it's able to house a bigger, stronger gear in there. And that bigger gear is gonna give you more torque, more power, better durability over the life of the reel. And on the rotor system, it does have a Zion full carbon rotor system on there. So it does lighten the weight on the rotor. And when you go to reel it, it doesn't feel like you're reeling anything. It feels like you're reeling air. It's amazing. And with that carbon Zion rotor on there, it's gonna increase the drag pressure. You're gonna get better drag pressure and performance out of it because it's just more rigid up here on the front. Got that advanced tournament drag system as well. So it's dishing out a ton of drag. Got that nice big ball bearing ball style handle on the side. So you can get a lot of cranking power and put a lot of pressure on fish when you need to. And it is a saltwater reel, so it's built to last. It's built to last years and years and years. And there's no reason why you can't go out and do some saltwater fishing, do some freshwater fishing. I mean, I know there's some rods out there on the market with that black and blue accent this would match up phenomenally with. So if you're looking for a new high-end spinning reel that's gonna last you years and years and years, check out the new Daiwa Saltus MQ. All right, last up. So we got a new deal going with Lowrance. For the entire month of November, while supplies last, we're running a promo on the Lowrance HDS Live unit. So any Lowrance HDS Live is gonna qualify for a Tackle Warehouse gift card. And the price of the gift card is going to be anywhere from $150 to $450, depending on the size of the graph that you get. This the 7-inch unit, like this one right here, is going to get you a $150 gift card, and that's going to go through November while supplies last. So if you're interested in a new graph, you want to jump on these while you can, while we got them. The other thing it's going to qualify you for is the HDS Live units is also going to get you a free SKB Lowrance case. So if you're a traveling angler and you need something that you got to take your graphs on and off your boat all the time, the promo deal is going to come with this SKB case. These things are rock solid. I personally have an SKB case for my boat, and these things are bulletproof. I feel like it's going to outlive me for sure. So if you're interested in a new graph, you want to take advantage while you can. Like I said, it's going to last through November while supplies last. All right. It's going to wrap it up for us today. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. For more information or to purchase any of these products seen here today, click shop or the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most pumped about.